Hello there. It's another beautiful day and I've got my coffee. So let's watch some stuff.
A young Japanese motorbike rider with a huge social media following has shocked people online after it was revealed that she might actually be a 50-year-old man. Over on Twitter, the user Koyuki wrote about her love of playing around with bikes. But it wasn't until the person behind the account was supposedly revealed on a Japanese show with viewers told that the young woman is actually a 50-year-old bloke. According to reports, he's been using apps in Photoshop to change or alter his appearance. Many people are now picking up on signs such as the woman having a youthful face but a less young-looking arm at her side. One wrote, "People fell for that? The face really looks fake, and that hairy arm." While another person added, "This is why you cannot trust social media for anything." It is believed that the man altered the way he looks to deceive his followers, with numbers having grown to more than 17,000. According to 8-Word News, the social media following grew because of the woman's good looks, as she would often post shots of herself with a Yamaha bike. People also noticed something untoward when a picture was uploaded on February 11th, which showed the photographer's face in the mirror of the bike. After zooming in on the image, many people realized that the person behind the camera was a middle-aged man and not the young woman they were expecting.
I don't know how long he was doing that. That's crazy. I mean, what did he do about the old pictures? Because he was originally posting, unless he opened up a new site or a new page or whatever it was, and did it all with the girl face. But that's sad. Like, he was doing the same thing except put a different face on and got so many more followers. But that is the world that we live in. Hey, I just want to thank you so much for hanging out with me for today's coffee talk. If you're having a good time, maybe you'd consider hitting that subscribe button and come back tomorrow, because I'm making a new video every day.
These influencers I'm about to talk about are so fake. That's because they're made by AI. The influencer marketing industry continues to grow at such a rapid pace, and marketers are still trying to navigate it as is. And now, virtual creators like Michaela here are shaking things up even more. She was actually created back in 2016, and since then, she has amassed over 2 million followers on Instagram. And yes, she has landed some major brand deals working with companies like Calvin Klein and PacSun. According to openbusinesscouncil.org, she is earning around £9 million per year. That's about 11 million US dollars. Moving on to Nanori, who is a model signed with IMG. She's also a music artist and was recently signed by Warner Music and released her first single called Dominoes. She has over 400k followers on Instagram and has starred in fashion campaigns with Dior, Valentino, and Balenciaga. Here we have Shudu, who is the world's first digital supermodel. She has over 240,000 Instagram followers. Companies like Cosmopolitan and Vogue are after her. I mean, she's unreal, literally. Virtual creators have been around for years now, but they're only now becoming more mainstream because technology is advancing and people are accepting them more. As stated in this Forbes article, the pitch for virtual influencers is pretty much that they allow marketers to have more control, and a virtual creator could never get caught in a scandal. So brands might see them as a lower risk and more cost-effective option. In a few years, influencer marketing could be full of virtual creators. Who knows what will happen, but let us know in the comments what you think of all of this.
That's right. Today's video is about fake. Fake this, fake that, fake the other thing. There's going to be some fake stuff shown today. Not fake here though. This is me. That's all I got. She said exactly what I was thinking halfway through, that advertising companies can use these models a lot more easily. They're more readily available also, and they can be changed to fit any size that the company desires and any look the company desires. So, and I'm sure they're probably cheaper. And like she said, no scandals. So yeah, it's not surprising that these are taking center stage in a lot of things right now. But it does put a lot of people out of business.
I got scammed. I showed up to this apartment today with my bags. I'd talked to this dude on the phone several times, and he wasn't responding, which I thought was kind of weird because I'd talked to him on the phone. I'd seen a video of the apartment. I go into the apartment building, like, I don't know, the door was unlocked or something. And I go up and there's supposed to be a keypad to get in. And there's not. And I'm like, that's weird. So I knock on the door. No one answers. And I was like, So I call the guy, nothing. I keep knocking on the door. This lady comes to the door. And I'm like, I think I'm supposed to be renting this apartment. She's like, no. Then I was like, okay, something's definitely wrong. And I go to the maintenance guy who's like walking around there somewhere. He's like, so sorry, you've been scammed. And so at this point, I'm like pretty much crying, just like walking around the halls of this apartment. The lady who lived there was really nice, and she like made sure I was good and like offered me something to drink and to like sit down. I was like, okay, well, I have to file a police report and figure out like where I'm gonna stay tonight. Currently, I'm in a hotel. So I walked to a hotel that was like a couple blocks away, and they were like really nice and really helpful. I filed a police report and I moved into another apartment, but like, it was hard.
What an awful situation. Like she packed her bags and she's ready to move into this place. And on the freaking doorstep, and they're like, no, no, you don't actually live here. Your heart would just sink into your stomach at that point. My goodness. But there's all kinds of crazy scams. I remember when Craigslist was in its infancy quite a while ago, and my brother was going to buy a car or looking to buy a car, and they're like, oh yeah, you need to send me a money order and I'll bring you the car, or something. It was something weird. Like he had to get them money somehow. I don't think they were doing gift cards at that time. It was something he had to go to the bank. Maybe it was like a wire transfer, but it was crazy.
Let's talk about this city behind me. It looks like a city that would host thousands and thousands of people that would go to their job every day, that would go to school, and that would go to the market. However, this is Kijangdong, otherwise known as the propaganda city of North Korea. Let's talk about it. Now, before we talk about Kijangdong, we need to talk about the Demilitarized Zone, or the DMZ. This right here is a picture of the border between North Korea and South Korea, and it is known as the most fearsome border in the world. So back to Kijangdong, it is known as the propaganda city because nobody actually lives there. North Korea built it so South Koreans could look in on their prosperity. So people have actually zoomed in and enhanced these images because there aren't a ton of pictures out there on this matter because it is North Korea. However, when they zoomed in, there was actually no window panes on any of the actual buildings themselves. And for a town that's supposedly supposed to have thousands of people in it, people have only actually seen a couple people in any of these frames. So another example of the petty diplomacy between these two countries actually resides within their flagpole height. So South Korea built one that was 323 feet tall, only to be upstaged by what North Korea did next. So in response, North Korea built a record-breaking 525-foot pole right in the middle of their town that nobody lives in. So there's just a mini story of Kijangdong and what little we know about it. So hopefully more will come out about this city because it is very fascinating. If you guys enjoy this series or other videos like this, check out my channel. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Hey, guess what I did? Research. Okay, it says that the South says that it's uninhabited, but North Korea says that there's 200 families there. It contains a 200 family collective farm. And the reason it's called a propaganda village is because it was set up to encourage South Koreans to defect to the North. So I guess it's like, oh, hey, look how nice this village is. Come live in our cool little North Korea. And then people go there through the demilitarized zone, and then you can't leave. That's crazy, a little fake village.
Found out about lab-grown meat, and I can assure you, you are going to be disgusted. The source of this meat, they need fast-growing cells, replicating cells, just like when you have a farm that makes fruit from a tree. You don't want to plant a new tree every week, you want a tree that gives you a lot of fruit. And this is what they're trying to do with meat. And so what do they find? Well, there's something called an immortalized cell, also known as a HeLa cell. HeLa after Henrietta Lacks, who sometime in the 1950s had cervical cancer, and they removed her cancer cells, put them in a petri dish to see how long would they continue replicating. replicating, and they're still replicating today. So if you've already started to read in between the lines, you may guess where I'm going with this, that they realize the best source for fast replicating cells to make lab-grown meat that you're going to eat are cancer and pre-cancer cells. That means taking cancerous and pre-cancerous cells, literally putting them as the base and having those replicate to continue as a fast as possible pace, produce the meat that you're going to eat.
This machine is 3D printing steak. The goal is to create a piece of meat without killing a cow. And this Israeli startup is one of the dozens of companies racing to perfect the process.
It turns out that cows aren't necessarily the most efficient way of making beef.
Still, for many scientists, the holy grail is to not just imitate meat, but actually make it. Back in 2013, professor and scientist Mark Post unveiled the first lab-grown burger at a live tasting in London.
That's disgusting. That is disgusting. So, cancerous and precancerous cells, because of how fast they replicate, is what is being used to feed people. As a carnivore, I find that absolutely repulsive. Where are they getting these precancerous cells? Are they from people? Ew, Soylent Green is people. Oh my God, that's gross. No, that's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. I would eat plant-based chemical burgers before I eat people. Oh my gosh. But where are they getting these precancerous cells? Are they going to be from cows? So it's kind of like bovine at the beginning? Or rats? Are we eating rat meat? Rat cancerous cell? What is it going to do to the people? Is it safe? Is it safe to even eat because you're ingesting these precancerous cells? This has got to be a load of bull. That can't be that can't be right. Ew, that can't be right. Oh my gosh. All right, we got to do something else. Let's move it along.
Hey, I found your profile on LinkedIn and you look like the ideal candidate for our virtual assistant position. In fact, we don't even need to interview you. You got the job. Would you be willing to start next week? Wow, thank you. This looks like a great job. Yes, I can start next week. Great, so since this is a remote job, you're going to need to get a computer for work. We're going to send you over a check for office supplies, things like a desk, a monitor, a computer. Work for you? Sure, that sounds great. Wow, a check for $10,000. I'm going to deposit it right now. Great, glad you got the money. We actually had a mix-up on our end and only meant to send you $5,000. Would you mind wiring back $5,000 to us? Oh, okay, yeah, that's totally fine. I'm transferring it right now. Wait, why does my bank account have negative $5,000 in it? Because I just pulled the fake check scam on you. I gave you a fake check, you deposited it, and the bank released the money before it was cleared. So then you sent me the money, the bank found out the check was fraudulent, and now you owe the bank $5,000. This is a really common scam right now, so make sure that you only cash a check from someone that you trust.
This has been happening more and more ever since COVID because everybody's working from home. Well, a lot of people were working from home. And a lot of people also decided that that's a good time to find a new job. So people were posting their resumes on Indeed and ZipRecruiter and Monster, LinkedIn, and even Craigslist. And there's so many more places where you find jobs and stuff like that. And people were scamming them, and that sucks. They're like, "Oh, we got into your information," and then they send you a check, and they're like, "Then they got your money." And you don't have a job. It's terrible. There's so many crazy fake jobs out there right now. Fake jobs, fake houses, fake everything. It's crazy.
Fake sellers are starting to come into Georgia. What are fake sellers? Those are people that claim to be the owner of a vacant property, a property that has no mortgage on it, and they try to get a listing agent to list the property and then sell it even though they don't own title. This is a very complex fraud that is happening. It's been happening in Florida and California for several years, but it's now hitting Georgia. If you have a home or vacant land with no mortgage on it, you could be in jeopardy of one of these fake sellers coming in and selling your property to another buyer who closes on it and then will assume they own the property. And it could be years to end this dispute. So follow me for more information on how to prevent this fraud.
One thing that we get, our business, we get people calling and they say that they need our services and they're in a hospital and they want us to go to the property and provide our service. But before we do that, how much do you think it would be? And then they say, I'll send you a check and it'll be for that amount. Plus, if you could help me out, I'm going to write the check for X amount over and you just cash the check and wire me that X amount over. And or we just know we don't, that's not how we operate. But it happens a lot. At least once a month, we get that scam, and it's crazy. But as far as this one, I know I didn't say anything about the video that we actually just watched, but it does happen a lot. And everybody's just trying to scam. Nobody wants to put in the work and actually make your own money. Got to steal from other people. It's ridiculous. On that note, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate your time, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Here's my cutting room floor.
3, 2, 1.
And boom, there's your subscribers. And boom, there's your followers. That's right. Today's video is about fakes. Fake. Not fake here though. This is me. That's all I got. Hit that thumbs up button and tell me your favorite 4-letter word. You want them to have a smaller waist and bigger measurements elsewhere? It's clicks of a button, right? Or clicks of buttons. Clicks of buttons, right? And you pack your bags up and you leave your other place. You leave your house. You are now houseless. And I left my coffee over there. Just kill a cow. I'd rather eat cow. You're eating people. Soylent Green is people. This has been happening more and more, especially since COVID. Because we were all at home and everybody's trying. Well, I mean, I wasn't. I had to work. No, I didn't work. I took care of my grandfather. Don't lie. I can't even think of any right now. My brain went. So you post your resume on Indeed and LinkedIn and ZipRecruiter. Yeah, I had to look it up because I can't remember what these are called. There's so many crazy scams out right now. It drives me up a wall. They don't exist. They don't exist.